Financing a vehicle versus leasing a vehicle. Which decision is going to be better for you? Hey guys, it's your girl Jackie coming at you with Money Talk, where we discuss investing, debt, and personal finance, all on my channel. So definitely, if you're not currently subscribed to my channel, you're gonna want to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified every time I have a new video up. All right, we're talking about financing a vehicle versus leasing a vehicle. Let's jump right in. If you are looking for a video where the person is going to scream at you, telling you that leasing is a waste of money, you clicked on the wrong video. I don't usually yell at people. It's not like my jam personally. It's not my style. It kind of hurts my throat. I'm much more of a just talk at you with an annoying Fran Drescher nasally voice, which many people say that I have. Oh, Mr. Sheffield. That being said, let me just tell you, let me just share with you, I personally, during the duration of my life, all 150 years of it, because I'm a vampire, I have actually done all three. I have purchased vehicles out cash. Usually they were hoopties. I have purchased vehicles cash. I have financed vehicles and I have leased vehicles. I've done all three. So I feel like I am in a good vantage point to be able to tell you and share with you what is, in my opinion, the better choice depending on what situation you happen to be in. If your goal, right, because if you're familiar with my channel, I talk all the time about how all of your financial decisions should be in alignment with your financial goals. So if your financial goal is to save money, then leasing is probably not the best decision for you. It's not the most economical choice. It's not the wisest choice if the long run is to save money. And the reason for that is because leasing is essentially, in a nutshell, it's the same exact thing, if you're not familiar, as renting a vehicle. It's like a long-term rental. You basically set up a contract with the dealership for a couple years, maybe 3, usually it's between 1 and 3 years, where you're paying on a monthly basis for this vehicle, but at the end of that contract period, at the end of that 1 to 3 years, you are giving that car back. So you just made monthly payments, and at the end of the day, you don't have anything. You don't have another car. So definitely for that reason, a lot of people don't view it as the best economical choice if we're talking about finances and saving money and having a frugal lifestyle. Now, a lot of people do, despite the thing that I just mentioned, they do like leasing because in general, the payments tend to be cheaper. Because don't forget, you're not paying for this car. You're kind of just renting the car. You're borrowing the car from the dealership for a couple of years, and you're paying them on a monthly basis to do so. So for that reason, the payments do in general tend to be lower than if you were financing a vehicle, even if it's a very nice car. So a lot of people like it for that reason. But other than that, the only benefit that I would say is if you're the type of person that it's like, for some people, right, like everybody has different things that they're really into. Everybody has different things that they really love. For some people, they're just like a car person. They love to have the newest, the bougie car of the year. They like to be driving the newest, nicest vehicle every single year. If that's you and you know for a fact that you want to have a car of the year, of that year, a brand new car, like every couple years, and you're willing to spend the money on it and you have the money for it, then freaking lease. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. You're your own person. You make your own decisions. If that's something that's really of value to you and it's very important to you and you're willing to put your money into it, then I think that may be the better choice. It's definitely going to be smarter rather than actually purchasing a vehicle every single year and then trying to sell that vehicle, because as we're about to talk about, they depreciate in value a lot. So if you're that type of person, you already know yourself, you know that you're going to want a brand new car every year, every couple of years, then maybe leasing is a good choice for you. If you do not fall into that bucket, if you're the type of person where maybe you have other things that are more important to you than your vehicle, like your home or saving or whatever, then no, I definitely wouldn't recommend it. The reason is because some of the biggest pitfalls to leasing a vehicle are that, as mentioned, the biggest one, which is at the end of your lease contract, you literally don't have a car. Like, what are you supposed to do? You don't gain anything at the end of that contract. Like, you literally just have to give it back. And on top of that, they usually have stipulations within the contract that include a lot of fees that a lot of people don't take into consideration, such as sometimes when you return the vehicle at the end of your contract, at the end of your lease period, they will actually charge you an actual additional fee just to return the car. Like, you're supposed to return the car. It's in the contract for you to return the car, but they're going to charge you a fee to return the car anyway. I know that because my mom had a lease relatively recently, and she had to pay like $400 just to return her lease. They basically do that. Car dealerships will do that to incentivize people to take out another lease once their lease contract is up. Like, oh, you have to bring back your whatever, your Ford, whatever. Well, we'll waive this return fee if you decide to finance another one of our vehicles or lease another one of our vehicles. It's kind of how they get you into the cycle of continuing to do it. And then the other thing too that a lot of people have issues with is there's actually a mileage stipulation in the contract. So if you're leasing a vehicle, you're only allowed to use a certain number of miles on a yearly basis. Usually it's like anywhere between 10, sometimes 20,000, 25,000 miles per year. If you go over whatever that mileage stipulation is in the contract, if you go over it, they charge you per mile. They charge you per mile that you go over. So that can be another tricky thing too, especially if you're driving really far from work, or if you're the type of person who likes to do road trips, or maybe you just live in a state or in an area where things are not particularly close to you. You live in a more rural type of area. I live in Jersey, so the rule of thumb in northern New Jersey is that we don't go anywhere if it's more than like 30 minutes away from our house. Like, that's too far. Like, why? Why would you ever? Everything is so congested and close to each other that it's like we really don't have to deal with that. But I also have family in North Carolina. I have family in Louisiana. So I understand the concept of having to drive far places to like go to the grocery store or go wherever it is that you have to go. So definitely if that's the case, then leasing may potentially be an issue for you as well. So definitely take that into consideration. If finances are your main goal, like saving the maximum amount of money, being as frugal as possible is your goal, then in reality, I mean, the truth is that the cheapest option would be to just not have a car at all. But the second cheapest option, if frugality and saving money is your main goal, would definitely be to save up and pay for a car in cash. To not have to make any payments at all, it's definitely the most economical way to go, because at that point, you're not making any payments, you're not incurring any type of interest from a dealership or a bank or whatever, and also you can pay for the cheaper level of insurance on your vehicle, because if you finance or if you lease, you have to pay for full coverage on your vehicle since it's not technically yours until it's like paid off. But if you buy a vehicle in cash, then at that point it's yours, and you can pay for the cheapest type of insurance if that's what it is that you want, if that's what you prefer. So it's just a much more economical choice, is to just save up for it. That's what we do in my household. We actually were a 2-car household, and then I actually purposefully transitioned to try to work from home so that we could go down to a 1-car household. So I totally sold my vehicle, sold it to get rid of the car payment. It was like the best feeling ever to just not have to worry about that. And so now we just have the 1 car, which is paid off. So yeah, it's a great way to save money, definitely. And then we also have like a separate little fund. We add money to it every single month. And so, you know, in a year, in a couple years, or whenever we feel like we need to go up to a 2-car household, then at least we'll have money in the bank to be able to buy that second vehicle. So that's what I highly recommend for you. Saving up and paying for a car in cash is just not an option for you and you can't do it right now, then definitely financing is probably going to be a more economical choice in the long run than leasing. I know it can feel tempting to go with the lease and have the lower payments on a monthly basis, but don't forget, at the end of the contract, if you lease, you're not going to have a vehicle. You're not going to have a car. So then what are you going to do? You're going to have to keep leasing for all of eternity until you're dead? It's a long time. So definitely going with the financing option, and in my humble opinion, definitely just making as high of payments as you possibly can so that you can pay that car off quick, right? That would be the goal. Is if you have to finance a vehicle and your goal is to save money, it would to just be to pay off that car as quickly as humanly possible so that you don't have to incur interest for all of eternity and you can just pay it off quick and then it's yours at the end of the day. And guys, that's all I have to share for today. I hope you found this video to be helpful. If you did, be sure to give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you're not currently subscribed. If you want additional content similar to what we covered today, then I want you to check out my blog, which is available at focusedfrugalfab.com. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.